Last offseason was a great offseason for the New Orleans Pelicans. On June 20th, they got lucky and got the first overall pick and drafted Zion Williamson. And a couple weeks later, they traded Anthony Davis for Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and a first-round pick. And it looks like their young core was built. And in this last season, they went to the bubble, had high expectations, but didn't meet them. But everybody was still on this New Orleans Pelicans train because of all the potential they had, the rise of Brandon Ingram, the emergence of Lonzo's jump shot, and the potential that everybody saw in Zion Williamson. But in this offseason, they made a couple interesting and kind of confusing moves that led me to wonder, what are the Pelicans really doing? If you like this type of content, like and subscribe on the video if you haven't already. And let's get right into it. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the spacing and fit around their two franchise cornerstones of Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. Lonzo Ball was an above average 3-point shooter, and they have a sharp shooter in JJ Redick. Josh Hart's a decent 3-point shooter as well, but they don't have a lot of spacing around Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, and they made a very interesting and confusing move to even confuse me more with the spacing around Zion in acquiring Steven Adams, and then when acquiring him, extending him for 2 years and $35 million. I just don't really understand it with the fit next to Zion Williamson, because Zion Williamson has not developed the 3-point shot yet and really hasn't even developed the mid-range shot yet. And Steven Adams can't really shoot outside of 5 feet either, so it really confuses me on why they would not only acquire Steven Adams. I understand the acquiring of Steven Adams because that had to do with the Drew Holiday sign and trade, but extending him for 2 years and $35 million makes no sense with the spacing around Zion Williamson, because it just clogs up the lane for him even more. That's worse than, you should have just re-signed Derek Favors, because at least Derek Favors can take a mid-range jumper and is not as has to be in the paint at all times, you know what I'm saying? But if you want Zion Williamson to be the star, why would you put such a big presence right where Zion needs to work? And I honestly do think Zion should either be a center or be a power forward. You have a stretch big by him. You could have signed a stretch big or got a rim protecting big off the bench and have Zion run center for you in the starting lineup. I just think there's a lot of other things they could have done, but they signed Steven Adams for 2 years and $35 million, and it just makes no sense at all. And now the lane is clogged up, not only for Zion Williamson, but for Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram needs to get in that lane, and now you have Zion and Steven Adams just in the lane, and Brandon Ingram can't create like he really needs to. So it was really confusing move to me to not. I understand the need to acquire him, but to extend him for 2 years and $35 million. And if you're gonna extend him, he's obviously gonna be starting. So it's just really no spacing in that front court for Zion Williamson and for the New Orleans Pelicans. That was a really confusing move to me. The next head-scratching thing that the Pelicans did this offseason is just me thinking that they're giving up on Lonzo Ball already by trading for Eric Bledsoe and drafting Kyle Lewis with their first-round pick. It's just really confusing to get two really good point guards in a draft and in a trade, and just are they giving up on Lonzo? Because I'm a big Lonzo fan. I think he does a lot of things really well on the basketball court, and it has good chemistry with Zion Williamson already and good chemistry with Brandon Ingram. And I just feel like it's really just head scratching for them to get so many point guards in this offseason. I feel like Lonzo has gotten way better at his 3-point shooting ability. He's a great defender, a great facilitator. That's all you can ask for. He's not a third option. He's like a fourth option scoring wise. You have Zion Williamson that you're gonna get a lot of touches to. You have Brandon Ingram that you're gonna get a lot of touches to, and he already has chemistry with those two players, and he plays amazing defense as well. So I'm just very confused on getting Eric Bledsoe and Kyle Lewis, spending a first-round draft pick on a point guard when you have Lonzo, and you could have spent that draft pick on getting a shooter like Aaron Naismith or something like that. And it's just really confusing what they're doing in this offseason with Lonzo Ball. Are they going to trade him to somewhere else so he can get a little bit more playing time and opportunity? I'm not really sure, but I feel like Lonzo's a great fit with the pieces that they already have, and I feel like it was head scratching. I kind of understand the Eric Bledsoe thing because it was also with the Drew Holiday trade, just like Steven Adams. But to draft a young point guard in Kyle Lewis that kind of sort of can't, he's not a great shooter as well. I know Lonzo's 6'6", but he needs to be the point guard. He can't be an off-ball player. That's when he becomes not as valuable, when you have him off the ball too much with another ball dominant guard, and you already have Brandon Ingram that likes the ball in his hands a lot. So you really should have drafted a shooter or a stretch four in that spot, and it was confusing to pick Kyle Lewis right there. So that's another head-scratching moment that I feel like the Pelicans kind of messed up on this offseason. Now, this last point is really more of just a question, and my question for the Pelicans and what I'm really hoping for from the Pelicans is, are they staying on Zion Williamson, or is Zion Williamson staying on himself on being more healthy and trying to come back in better shape than he did in the bubble? Because it seemed like he was in good shape in those pictures and photos, but he left that 1 week for a funeral, or I can't really remember what he left for, and he came back looking like he was 10 or 15 pounds bigger, and he looked really unconditioned and other things like that. And I hope that doesn't happen coming into this next season, and I hope he's been staying on himself, and this new coaching staff has been staying on him, checking in on him, seeing how he's doing this coronavirus time, because you can't really be with him until training camp, which starts in I think 1 or 2 days. But I hope that these Pelican trainers and health people with the Pelicans and Zion Williamson himself and people that are close to him are staying on him, because if he's healthy and if he's conditioned and if he's in the right shape, he is explosive and he is scary to see on the basketball court. And I really hope that's the case, because I love Zion Williamson. I've been liking him ever since he was in high school, and I hope to see him in the best shape and the best form he's been in the NBA, because if he is, this Pelicans team is going to be scary. If he's not, we're going to see more that we saw in the bubble, and Brandon Ingram is going to be by himself being the number one option. It'd be really cool to see Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson become more of a 1A, 1B type thing on the New Orleans Pelicans, and that's when they can be really good. And those role players like JJ Redick, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Steven Adams, surprisingly Steven Adams, and others like that can really come into their form and really be in their roles. If those two players can be the 1A, 1B thing that the Pelicans need on that team to be a championship and playoff bound type team, and that really all falls on Zion Williamson's shoulders, because I haven't seen Brandon Ingram come in fatter or less conditioned. Brandon Ingram played pretty well in the bubble. It was really Zion Williamson that slacked and was unconditioned, not playing great defense. So I hope Zion Williamson takes that challenge on himself and comes in better form in this new season. Alright guys, this is all I got for you guys today. Like and subscribe on the video if you haven't already. I'm going to start making a lot more early draft content for the 2021 draft until the NBA season starts back up, which starts in like 3 or 4 weeks. I'll still get some NBA videos out, but I want to tap into this college space. Like I said last video, start watching some more college basketball, so it makes my evaluation of the NBA more easier. So I'm going to start making a little bit more draft content for the 2021 draft and how I feel these prospects are doing early in their college careers. So be on the lookout for that, and like and subscribe on the video if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.